Well, here we go. Here we go. EA, he says great Terps win. He wants to
Let's
hear about the
go.
Terps. Let's talk about the Terps, Kent. Great win for the Terps. USC was battling in this game. Last 4 minutes, Terps really, kind of, run away with it. Overall, this was a game where I just felt like Maryland's guard play once again just takes over the game, and your starters scored 85 points. Your bench scores 3 points. Like this is Maryland basketball at this point. Kevin Willard was like, "Screw everything else. I'm just gonna get the best possible players to put in my starting lineup, and I'm gonna run them." I mean, the lowest minute total for a starter for Maryland was Rodney Rice, who had 33 minutes. Like,
That's insane.
I know we kind of dog on Maryland every now and then because like some inside jokes with like Kevin Willard and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, like I'm going to continue to make those. It's not because I hate Maryland, it's more just because it's like our inside joke stuff. But like Kevin Willard really has found something here where he's like, nobody get hurt, nobody get injured, nobody get sick, because if we lose anybody in this starting lineup, like that
Yeah.
that could be bad. But if we have everybody in our starting lineup, like, correct me if I'm wrong. This is a team that could go to the Elite Eight. Like, dare I
Oh
say, a
yeah.
Final Four team, right?
Absolutely. I mean, what I saw tonight, and you just touched on it for just a minute, but I want to dwell on it for a little bit longer. The guards from Maryland were so nasty tonight. Like
Oh my
Gillespie and
gosh.
Rice are just so important to their team to combine for 42 points. So obviously from the offensive end, but USC has some really good scores. Like Wesley Yates is no joke. Desmond
Hmm.
Claude is no joke. And yeah, Wesley got his every now and then in this game. I mean, I think he had 21 in this game, and I still love watching the kid play. But the way that those two guards from Maryland were so disruptive on defense is what gives me a lot of confidence about Maryland going into this postseason. Like they look like a top 10 team tonight. And then you add the fact that they have, basically, in my opinion, like one of the best centers in the conference. I just tried to go through all 18 teams. Like there's some other good centers, but like Queen is so good, and Julian Reese has made such a big improvement this year. I'm used to talking in the morning, Jr. This night stuff is not for me anymore. I
I
don't
know.
think.
Dude, it's like 11 o'clock at night. You're
I
here.
know this is crazy. But with those two bigs and with the guard play playing so well, it gives me a lot of confidence in the Crab Five going into the postseason for sure.
The Crab Five. Okay, is that what we're calling it?
Yeah, they just started that this week.
Oh, did they? Okay, I haven't seen it yet. I've been terrible on Twitter, dude. I have not been on Twitter nearly as much this past like 2 or 3 weeks. So
Yeah,
I apologize. I haven't been posting as much on there. I'm trying to get back to it. But
and just
yeah,
so
the
you
Crab
know, that's
Five.
that's
Go
like
ahead.
a reference to the. I don't know if you picked up on this, but there used to be a Michigan team that they had the Fab Five.
Oh, here's the thing. I
Yeah.
heard that was vacated, so I had to like
Oh,
FBI like my mind, because anything that's vacated, we just instantly forget. So, actually, I don't know what you're talking
fair,
about at all.
fair. That makes sense. I think that's what they're referencing, and like the crabs with the Maryland thing. It kind of plays. It works, but yeah, I like it a lot. Just
I need
started
him
it
to
this
like,
week.
I need him to like fully invest into it though. Like, come up with like a dance or something that
Oh
like.
yeah.
Do you think it like the Ohio State guy from last year? What's his name? Zed something. He would do the finger guns after he got like an and one. Like if Jacoby Gillespie goes up and gets an and one, I need them all to be like, crab five, crab five. I don't know. It's probably
Like they
stupid.
could lock arms, and like after they lock arms at the elbow, they just do like the crab. That'd be
Well, you
good.
have to do it like this. That's like
What's Baby
puppets.
Shark?
Oh yeah, that's Baby
So it's
Shark.
like
We don't want to
this.
do that.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's like well, like this up and down. So anyway,
We'll get it. We'll work on that.
this is the analysis you came to the Big Ten Huddle for. So no, but I mean I think it is really interesting to think, can this Maryland team go into March Madness, the NCAA tournament, and make a deep run with basically only 5 players? I mean, you're still getting Jordan Geronimo giving you good defense, like he's athletic, but in this game you had what 14 minutes from your bench in this one, like. It's just kind of insane. You had a one guy score 1 point and get 1 minute. That's a pretty good ratio, I think. If you get 1 point for every minute you're in there, maybe Kevin Willard needs to play him more. But
Yeah.
I mean, overall, if Derrick Queen can get into the NCAA tournament and continue to be who Derrick Queen is, give this team the reliability that he's able to give them as a freshman, I really, really like this Maryland team. As long as they get the right matchups, going through the tournament, I really like this Maryland team. The only thing for me is Kevin Willard, right?
Yeah.
Can Kevin Willard be that coach to get a team to the Elite Eight? I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to see if it happens.
Jordan is such an interesting person that you just brought up, by the way, because I loved him at Indiana. I thought he played so hard and just gave everything every time he was on the court. And I think he's super athletic too. And I think he can help a team out. But when you have somebody like that, that's like barely getting double-digit minutes each game, in the Iowa game when I was watching earlier this week or whenever that game was, I can't remember now, Sunday, whatever it was, he actually played more than I'm used to seeing him play. And I was like, all right, finally, like Jordan's getting into the rotation. They're going to have a little bit more depth. And then like tonight, like you said, like didn't need him. When you have a guy that is that good, though, is what my point is, and you can't find minutes for him because the other guys are so much better, that's a good problem to have, I feel like, if you're, Coach Willard right now.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I mean, like, how did this team go from like EA just brought it up here? It said Terps are tied with Kentucky for the most games with all five starters in double figures. With what is that? Five. I thought it said three for a second. I apologize. Five. You went from Jameer Young last year, who had like god level usage rate
Yeah.
numbers,
Yeah.
to now you are leading the nation with the most games with your starting five all scored in double figures. Like,
That's awesome. That's what you would
Devin,
want to have, though, right?
yeah,
You would
for
much
sure.
rather have it this way, for sure. Even if the depth isn't like all the way there, you would much rather have all your guys be able to score and put up big numbers each night, and everybody's like kind of sharing the wealth.
Yeah. Jeff Parks brings it up here. He says Deshaun Harris Smith was a 5-star and he just hasn't learned how to score at the collegiate level. Yeah. I mean, but I also give Kevin Willard credit that he's not messing with him. Like, he's like, dude, we got stuff to win. Like, if you can't figure it out, sorry, we're moving on from you, which is hard to do with a 5-star on your roster, right? So, I mean, yes, I have given Kevin Willard plenty of plenty of criticism over the time we've had this podcast. But the way I look at things now, like, he's he's figuring out. He's got a good group set up. Let's look at USC now, Kent. So USC in this one, I thought they played really hard. I thought they were playing energetic. I mean, I thought they had really good ball movement at times. Unfortunately for them, like, they have set scores on this team, and then there's other guys that just don't really offer all that much. Wesley Yates, Desmond Cloud, St. Thomas, he offers a lot. Like, those guys are doing a lot, but then you just have other guys in this team that just can't really offer as much to you. 7 for 22 tonight from three isn't awful, but definitely going into Maryland, if they're going to shoot 8 for 20, nearly 50%, then you need to be better in that area. I mean, what's your thoughts on USC after this game?
Some really good players, obviously. I've said that USC has been my favorite team to follow this year just because it's basically been what this whole game was. It's been, oh my gosh, they're bad. And then they like kind of rev it up. They look like they're going to be a great team. That's how the whole season's been. And then they've kind of fallen back off. And it happened in both halves in this game. They were down huge at the beginning, battled back, cut it to 3, and then let Maryland go on a 7-0 run to end the first half, and they're down by double digits at halftime. Do the same thing in the second half, battle back, and then they end up losing by almost 20 or whatever it was. So it's a team full of really good players. To me, the biggest missing piece that they have, especially when you're going against Maryland, and Maryland's done this to a lot of teams this year, they don't have anybody that can stop the scoring inside. Like when Derrick Queen gets it inside and you don't have somebody that's 6'10", 7 foot that can put a big body on him and push him away from the paint, you're in big trouble. And when Julian Reese is on the other side or on the other block getting rebounds, you're in even bigger trouble. And they don't have one guy that can guard either of those guys. So that's really where the deficiency in this game for USC was, I thought. But it's still a team that, like I said, really good players. I think that they're building up to something that they can be great next year, but they got to get some help down low for sure. For sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this has been the problem for teams when they don't have a down low presence. They go up against Maryland, to a certain extent Michigan, but Danny Wolf plays on the outside so much. We'll talk about them a little bit later in the show, them and their matchup against Michigan State coming up tomorrow. But you see enough of that to be like, listen, if you have a presence down low, you're going to be tested against Maryland. If you don't, you're going to find out real quick because Maryland is going to be that team that's going to absolutely destroy you down there if you don't. And that's what happened to Ohio State the very first game. Now they figured it out in the second game because they just started throwing bodies in there and they were like, stay fresh and just go be a body, and it worked for them. I do think that's probably a little bit of the Achilles heel here for Maryland is if people just start throwing bodies at them and tire out Queen and Reese, and they're able to get really good guard play. And if Maryland's guards don't have a great day, that's that's kind of the Achilles heel there. But it has to work together for your team in order to beat them. And obviously, it's not worked. The majority of the time, it's not working for your team like that because Maryland's beating a whole lot of teams right now.
Yeah. I saw multiple times during this game, and this kid's a really nice player. I don't know how to say his last name. I think it's AG, Rashawn. AG. Really good player. Love watching him play. Plays with a lot of energy. He reminds me a lot of Tony Perkins, but he's 6'8". He can't guard Derrick Queen. You kidding me? He was switched off to Julian Reese multiple times in this game. You're asking him to check him for 5, 6, 7 possessions in a row, and you still want something from him offensively? It's not going to happen. Like, he was getting worn out by those guys. So, like I said, just nobody, not a big enough body down low to stop what was happening. And then it's like basic basketball 101. Once you can't start guarding what's in the paint, it opens everything else back up. Driving lanes are opened up and wide open shots. And that's exactly what Maryland did today. And that's why, like EA said, everybody in the starting lineup was able to get in double digits.
Yeah, very true. Very true. And Jeff Parks, he's bringing the stats here too. He says back-to-back double-doubles for Queen and Reese. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to let that happen, you're not going to win too many times against Maryland. So major props to Maryland. I think the story coming out of this one, the takeaway is that, I mean, obviously USC, they're probably not going to be a tournament team. We'll see, but they have some really good talent on their team. So to be able to beat them by, 17 at home, pull away like that toward the end, just speaks to your team and speaks to the fact, even if you don't have a bench, you're still closing out games like that. It's really impressive. So
they look like a top 10 team tonight, man. They really did.